There was once a young woman named Myra who spent her life believing that her worth depended on how others saw her. She tried to please everyone, her family, her friends, her boss, hoping that if they approved of her, she would finally feel valuable. She worked tirelessly, always the first to help and the last to complain. Yet no matter what she did, people often took her kindness for granted. One day, Myra walked into work and found that someone new had taken over a project she poured her heart into. No explanation, no appreciation, not even a thank you. She felt invisible, like all her efforts could be replaced in a moment. Hurt and confused, she went to an elderly mentor named Armin, a man known for his wisdom. He listened quietly, then handed her a small, old coin. "Go to the marketplace," he said, "and try to sell this coin. But no matter what they offer, don't sell it." Confused but obedient, Myra went to the marketplace. She showed the coin to a fruit seller, who examined it briefly and said, "It's old and worn, I can give you $1. She thanked him and moved on. She took it to a clothing seller, who shrugged and offered 50 cents. A baker told her it had no real use. A jeweler said it was too scratched to be worth anything. Everywhere she went, people judged the coin by how it looked, not knowing anything about where it came from, what it meant, or how rare it truly was. Discouraged, she returned to Armin and handed him the coin, saying, "Everyone said it's worthless." Armin smiled gently, took the coin, and walked with her to a museum. There, he showed it to a curator who examined it with wide eyes. "This coin," the curator said, "is over 2,000 years old. It's extremely rare. I can offer you $10,000 for it right now." Myra was stunned. Armin turned to her and said, "The coin's value didn't change today. What changed were the people who looked at it." The fruit seller saw no value because he didn't understand coins. The jeweler judged it by its scratches. But the one who knew its true worth understood how priceless it really was. He placed the coin in her hand and continued, "Myra, your worth doesn't depend on who sees it. Not everyone has the ability to recognize your value, and that has nothing to do with you. Some people will overlook you, misunderstand you, or try to replace you, simply because they can't see what you carry inside you: the strength, the goodness, the brilliance, the potential. Do not let those who cannot recognize your worth be the ones who define it." Myra felt something shift inside her, as if a heavy weight she'd carried her whole life had finally dropped away. She realized she had spent years letting people who didn't know her story determine how she felt about herself. From that day on, she stopped trying to earn her worth and started living from it. She spoke up when she needed to, set boundaries, and walked away from those who treated her as if she were replaceable. And something incredible happened. The moment she recognized her own value, others began to see it too. Life didn't become perfect, but Myra became stronger, clearer, and more confident. She understood now that nothing and no one could diminish her worth, and not rejection, not criticism, not being overlooked, and not being replaced, because her true worth came from within, and that was something only she had the power to define.